Hello Ratbags, it's Jade. Welcome to a special access show taking a look at action RPGs, specifically isometric ones. In another life, another career, I could have maybe made my channel all about isometric action games. I really love Torchlight on Xbox 360, so when they announced that Torchlight 2 was being ported finally 9 years later onto Xbox, PlayStation, I was ecstatic, and I've been playing it a lot actually on my Nintendo Switch. It reignited a passion and a love for these games, which I can't always show on the main channel, so I thought I'd do the best of the new breed of action RPGs that are coming. These are all games very similar to Torchlight or Diablo, as you're seeing now, or in fact Path of Exiles, which is free to play. So go and check out some of the games that are already out there, of course, like Diablo 3 and Torchlight. But what's coming in the next 6 to 9 months? Here's my pick of the ones you need to know about. Tribes of Midgard may have more in common with survival more than most of the rest of these action RPGs. It's got a lot of elements you're used to, like crafting and building and really exploring and going out there and getting resources from enemies. It is a co-op game in a procedurally generated world, and of course it's influenced heavily by Vikings. Whoop whoop, God of War co-op, here we come. It looks great, the animations are fantastic, and the enemies are really different as well. I really like some of the bosses in this game. I'm really looking forward to trying this one. It's got an open beta coming in early December. It's on Steam at the moment, and hopefully we've got plans to bring it out onto the consoles as well. Let's dive into some more of the features though. 10-player co-op survival, so you can literally fight together or against each other. There are PvP options. It's also got a really good mechanic of defending yourself at night. Much like 7 Days to Die, there's going to be hordes of zombies attacking you at your village, so you're going to have to be prepared. So definitely one to look out on, a unique style, that massive co-op aspect that really sets this one apart from any other action RPG like this. I mean, the only closest thing we're going to have is Torchlight Frontiers, which we'll talk about in a little while, but for sure I really love the animations, I really like the look of it, and just the pure experience of going out there and crafting these legendary weapons to take on all sorts of really unique enemies. I really think Tribes of Midgard is going to be a big game if it gets enough attention to it. So go and check out more, join their Discord or follow them on Twitter. Tribes of Midgard open beta coming this December, and hopefully we're going to get to see a lot more of this game in 2020. Children of Malta has been out on Xbox, PlayStation and Steam a good few weeks now, and it is coming to Nintendo Switch. They did delay it just to finish up and make sure it was running perfectly, and it is going to be coming on Switch very soon. It's very different in that it's more story based and dungeon crawler maybe than just running around endless dungeons, and the way that you tie in with your family is going to be really important. You're going to be able to control lots of different members of the family, and you'll be able to choose what partnerships you want, whether or not you want one of the sons or the fathers that have got different abilities. This is how this is really special. It really locks into trying out what the family has to offer, whether it's the daughter that's got more unique abilities. I think that's really going to make replayability in this game good. It does have extra dungeons, and when you go through these dungeons you will get extra different loot. It's not going to be the same as just going through and getting the same sort of stuff, so replayability is there as well, and that's important in these types of games. Torchlight kind of nailed it with their works, or their engine works, where you would go through procedurally sort of generated maps or revamped maps, and Children of Morta maybe doesn't have that full thing, but with the replayability with the family members, like I said, I think this opens it up a lot. The story is actually pretty good as well. Unlike a lot of the other games, it's kind of tacked on or just put in as an excuse for you to run through the dungeons. The story in this is actually good, and there are consequences. Your family members will struggle, and if they die, you may have limited amount of times that you'll be able to use them. So really good stuff. You'll inherit talents from some of them as well. It's going to be really interesting going through and trying to find the mystical mountain, delving into why the corruption has basically taken hold of the land. That's the story behind Children of Morta. It's had some fantastic reviews already, and it's available on Nintendo Switch on November the 20th, available on all the other platforms right now. The one that started it all off for me, Torchlight, has now rebranded itself and is now being made into a massively multiplayer online game. Torchlight Frontiers is the spiritual successor to the Torchlight franchise, pretty much taking most of what you loved and putting it hopefully into a brand new experience that you can play with hundreds of players, possibly on the same servers. Maybe not in the same big huge way as WoW, but certainly it's going to be a case of coming across others in the world and hopefully being able to trade and do a bunch of stuff. What is Torchlight Frontiers though for people brand new to the franchise? It is an action RPG. You're going to be going around with your friends, hacking and slashing your way through ancient ruins, fighting off lost civilizations, and of course lots of zombies by the looks of things. It's got combat in it with lots of different spells, lots of different abilities and characters that you're going to be able to craft, but it looks like there's going to be characters that you're going to have to lock into a little bit more too. So you're going to be able to build your own houses, your forts, you'll be able to upgrade your own gear and renovate and show it off to your friends, I guess in a way to create more of a aspect of cosmetics and selling that sort of stuff. Does look likely it will be free to play once it comes out, with lots of cosmetic purchasable items as well. 4 new classes are taking shape with Frontiers: Dusk Mage, Forged, Railmaster, and more to be announced. As the Dusk Mage, you're going to be able to command powerful forces of darkness and light, maintaining a balance that lets you consumed by one or the other. The Forged is more or less the Tinkerer class. It's pretty much a powerful beast with loads of explosive attacks, lots of turret style attacks. And then the Railmaster is going to be a really big melee character by the looks of things as well, where you're going to be doing lots of work with different types of huge weapons, taking on the enemies. It's in a closed alpha at the moment, which you can sign up for, and all the stuff says it's coming in 2019, although latest news I think means that we won't see this properly released fully until next year, but I'm looking forward to this one. Torchlight 2 being on the Switch and being on Xbox and PS4 has really ignited my passion for these games once more, and I'm looking forward to giving this one a try. There have been some worries though that it takes a bit too much away from the Torchlight experience, but I really think opening the game up to more players and having a unique world where you come across others, I think that's going to be really important. Now, being free to play, it does mean we're going to see some of the mechanics that maybe we're used to seeing on mobiles, or you just simply time savers that we've seen AAA companies chuck into their games. I have got no real qualms with this, as long as it doesn't hamper playing the game too much. I'm still going to be able to go and venturing around the world. If it's a case of these adequate purchases being made that you have to buy them to get access to new areas, then that's going to be a problem. They did do an update post last year talking about what you could earn and what you couldn't earn. I'll leave the links for that in the description box down below, but there's going to be lots of cosmetic items. There will be no pay to win items specifically, and it does look like that the items to level up and gear up a bit quicker are just that they won't lock off regions or areas. So Alpha is out, it's been out for a while. In fact, they're on their 9th big update, adding a whole host of different content to the game. I am desperate to get hold of this. I have signed up for the Alpha with a bunch of different emails and I still haven't actually got access to it. But yeah, for sure, I can't wait to give this one a try. I think the content I've been adding with the alpha is almost like the content you'd see in early access. So it bodes well. Obviously, it might not be coming out on Xbox and PlayStation straight away, but it is got the plans, or it has got plans, I should say, coming out after PC release a few months later maybe. If you're somehow some sort of Minecraft purist, look away now. Minecraft Dungeons is an action isometric RPG coming in April 2020 to all platforms. There is going to be crossplay between Xbox and Microsoft Windows. No word yet on the other platforms. This is an action RPG, but don't worry, it's not going to be flooded with loads of microtransactions. It's all strictly in-game currency. That's the only way you can really rank up. No loot boxes either. It's all about exploring in a Minecraft world, but in the RPG gameplay world. It's really good. I like what they're doing with this. The devs behind this are Double 11, who've just announced as being the guys porting over Rust of all games to Xbox and PlayStation. So I've got a good pedigree, worked on a bunch of other ports in the past, so this will be coming to Xbox and PlayStation. One thing I really like about this is they're not going too mad with the Minecraft formula. They're not adding a bunch of new abilities to the characters that you'll play. It's all simply about you leveling up and ranking up and trying new gear and weapons. That's what's going to give you new abilities, and it's got so much from Minecraft lore and Minecraft normal gameplay. It really is looking like a treat to play. Simplistic, yes, maybe, but I think it's probably going to have a lot more depth than we give it credit for. So, April it's coming. I can't wait to try this one. It's going to be a co-op game, obviously online, and it's going to be around £20 or $20, maybe $30. There is going to be a season pass with DLC. That's why it's $30 if you buy it with the season pass. So yeah, there's going to be plenty of content to come with it as well. A story, of course, and there's going to be a llama companion that follows you and gives you a little bit of a help and a hand, or more or less is going to be your piggy bank to host all your loot. Expect variations of skeletons, creepers, wolves, and of course zombies, and maybe a lot more to do with the villagers. It's the villagers that take centre stage in terms of one of them being the big bad guy, and you're going to be taking him on as there is some story elements to it. All the levels are procedurally generated, and so you'll get different mobs, different spawn each time you play it, but there is an overall story, so it's going to be pretty cool. The end game is going to have more difficulty modes, and you'll be able to tackle missions you've already done, and it'll tell you how difficulty, what your party's gear score is, so you can try and beat your previous scores. One thing I'm really excited about is the possibility of player created dungeons. It's something the development team are looking into right now. So big things to come from this. This will be huge when it comes out, and hopefully it's going to introduce a whole new batch of players to isometric action RPGs. We finish off my look at pretty much my secret dirty gaming habit is of course Darksiders Genesis. This is their version taking on the Darksiders lore and characters. You're going to be stepping into the footsteps of War and his brother Strife, introducing the fourth horseman of the apocalypse for the first time, leaving out the other two, Death and Fury. Hopefully maybe they'll come as DLC, maybe down the road, I'm not too sure. It's a cooperative game, 1 to 2 players only, so it may have a little bit limitations compared to some of the others that all seem to either be 1 to 4 players or many more. Everything here is maybe not as much Diablo style, it's more of just a more standard crawler rather than lots of different character buildings. Your characters are going to have preset abilities by the looks of things, although of course you will be able to upgrade and differentiate in between their trees. But it does look great, the graphics look amazing, I'm loving the look of the worlds, and I do want to step back into the lore. I love the original Darksiders. Darksiders 2 I never really got into as much, and of course Darksiders 3 I barely played more than an hour of, but I really would like to get back into the lore of it. I thought it was pretty good, some of it, and especially if they managed to get Mark Hamill back as your companion sometimes muttering stuff to you, so that'd be really good. But yeah, in terms of gameplay, like I said, it's going to be co-op, it's coming to all platforms, but it's coming to PC first. Genesis is coming to Windows 10 and Google Stadia of all platforms on December the 5th, and it will be coming to Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch in February 2020. So a bit of an unusual one, maybe not as clear cut as some of the role-playing games we've already seen. It's definitely more of just a crawler, but I am really looking forward to this. It's got all the mechanics you've probably come to used to seeing, like jumping and all the combos, and I think it'd be interesting to see what happens with Strife. Maybe this will be a good introduction into seeing what Strife could do in another Darksiders full game. Of course, there's many more games to come as well. I hear Path of Exiles 2 is already in development, and we also may see more of Diablo 4 in 2020, although likelihood is we might not see that till 2021. Action RPGs are great. They're great for the Nintendo Switch. I really like playing them when I just want to chill in bed at the end of the day for half an hour, or if I've got a train ride anywhere, something certainly keeps me busy. What do you like playing these as a solo, as your team friends? Is it something that you're looking forward to playing in a big multiplayer world like Torchlight Frontiers, or are you hoping that Diablo 4's open world segments that are going to be there, pretty much open world now, will be something really interesting and the more gritty, realistic take they've got with that one? Let me know your thoughts and comments, and what other games do you like as your secret dirty gaming habits? I'll see you ratbags for more access shows very soon, and thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.